Hi, hello, how are you? And welcome back to another speed build. This is the bigger build I was talking about in my last room build. It's not super huge, but it's kind of expansive, and originally it was going to be a touch bigger. You'll see when in the beginning of this video that I build the layout of the house and then raise it up a floor, but then I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do underneath, and I didn't want to leave it as a giant empty space underneath the house on stilts, so I dropped it back down. So it was going to be bigger, but it is still, in my opinion, kind of big. It's not like a colossal build or anything, but it's big enough that, I don't know, I think it's a big build. It's an expensive build. This isn't something that your Sims are going to be able to start off with. I'm not sure what the exact price on this build is, but I know when I checked, like halfway through building it, it was over 50,000 simoleons, so I can only imagine what it is now that it's finished, especially since this house has a pool and like 2 ovens and 3 bedrooms, and it's got a lot going on. But I'm so happy with this house because I had the layout, and I knew I liked the layout, but it was one of those things where I was like, I like this layout, but I don't know if I can furnish it in a way that I like, so I was kind of worried that this was going to be kind of a subpar build. But, at least in my opinion, it is not. I like it a lot. I really like this house. I mean, I know the video hasn't even gotten there yet. The video is way behind where my mind is, but I just really like this house. Speaking of video, I just got a new microphone. I'm not using it now, so don't be like, your audio doesn't sound any different. That's because it's not. I haven't figured out how to use it yet because I got my computer to recognize it, but the volume is still really low. I got to do some troubleshooting, but better audio is hopefully on the way. We're working on it. We're getting better. We're doing some stuff, improving a little at a time, one build at a time. But this is a beach house. It's a big beach house. It's not a little bungalow, but I don't know. I went through kind of a couple different phases in building this. Originally, it was going to be a house on stilts, and I couldn't figure out what to put underneath. Or I had a bunch of ideas for things to put underneath, but none of them really sat well with me, and so I didn't even bother with them. And then I went and was going to do only items that were base game and cats and dogs, so that if you had the base game and then the only pack you bought was cats and dogs, just because, I feel like if there's one pack that you wanted, if you wanted to get only one, the one that would enhance your game the most is cats and dogs, because it adds a whole other creature. I know there's like aliens and vampires and stuff, but they're still Sims, whereas the cats and the dogs they're a different kind of Sim. They're a person. You can't play with them the same. So I'm sure there are people out there that only have the base game and cats and dogs, and that's cool. So I was kind of trying to do that. I was like, all right, let's just do 2 packs, because I'm not done with my cats and dogs obsession. It's okay. I don't need you to judge me. I'll get over it eventually. But anywho, eventually I started wanting different decorations. And so even though this house is, I would say it's 94% base game and cats and dogs, there's some scattered other stuff in there. I know there are some parenthood items, I think, and then maybe a handful of city living items. But not a ton, not enough that if you do only have the base game and cats and dogs, that you couldn't download this house and then fill in whatever disappeared. So it's close enough to that. I didn't set myself a budget for this build. I wasn't even going to try. I knew it was going to be huge, and I wanted to do some landscaping, and I wanted a pool, and I wanted to build a big house. So I didn't even try with a budget, because we all know by now, I'm not good with those. This house, I did build it in Newcrest just because, empty lots. But I obviously think it would fit best in Brindleton Bay. But really, it could fit anywhere, especially since I didn't put it on stilts. It has that kind of beachy contemporary feel. But it doesn't have, the only place that it's really beachy is in one of the bedrooms. I put that net wall decoration up. But other than that, there's not really a ton of beach stuff. You don't walk in and feel like you're in a beach house. You're just in kind of a nice, open, airy, contemporary home, which is great. This living room was what I thought was going to be my downfall, because it's so big and it's square. And when I make a living room that's too big, I usually end up with this just horrible layout, and I don't know what to do with it. And I just start putting things places. And by things, I mean plants, like lots and lots and lots of plants. But I didn't do that. I resisted. There are a lot of plants in this build. You know that. But I didn't just put plants willy-nilly. I kind of, like when I started a room, I was like, okay, this is where the plant's going to go. Also, really cool thing, with this build, I actually managed to go room by room, where sometimes I'm like, all right, I'll do this room, and then just get bored of it or not know where I want it to go, and so I'll jump to a room. This one I did room by room, and I think it turned out swell. The living room, I'm actually really proud of. It's very cozy, and there's not a TV in it, actually. Also, there's not an office in this house, but I think I'm drifting out of my officeless house complex because I didn't even feel bad about it. Who needs an office when you have a pool? Nobody. I don't need an office if I have a pool, but I don't have a pool or an office. So yeah, I guess I'm just lacking overall. Someone get me an office and or a pool. I mean, I guess I have an office, but it's not an office. It's The Office, which is the only show I watch. But I digress. The living room, I don't know. I just really like it. Like, I have a couple seating areas, and I really like that I put in, like, there's the entryway to the house, but you walk in the front door, and then there's like a mini entryway, and I end up putting a little love seat, that high-backed love seat from Cats and Dogs in there, and then a little stool and a coat rack and stuff, and then you walk into the living room, and that separation is like nothing. It's super simple, and there's not a lot going on, but I just really like it. It's just, you kind of have a stopping point when you get in the door, so you don't have to, like, I don't know, you get ready to stay a while, I guess. You take off your coat and your shoes, and then you walk into the cozy space that is the living room. You don't have to decompress in the living room. You walk in the living room, decompress. I don't know what I'm talking about, honestly, but I don't know. The living room just has a vibe. I also, something I don't usually do, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I like to every build do something I don't usually do. I don't know. It's kind of a way of forcing myself to not make all my builds look the same, but it's also kind of forcing myself to learn how to use different layouts and decorate differently. I don't know. But I don't know if that affects you at all, but it affects me. I feel like I'm doing better every day with my builds, and wishing I had the simoleons, quote, to afford a house like anything I've built in The Sims. But anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, you guys just got me thinking about not having an office or a pool and not having all the simoleons, and now I have no idea what I was talking about. But the house has an open floor plan. If I remember what I was going to say, I'll come back to it. I always do. You guys should know the drill by now. It's Simsmas. I'm stressed. That's one of the reasons why, if you're wondering why I haven't used my new mic or figured it out yet, I did try it. I spent an hour trying to figure out what the deal was with the audio, but it's already 10:30, and this is tomorrow's video, and I gotta when you're watching it, it's today's video, but I record the day before, so I'm preparing this video for you, and just, it's bedtime. Okay, I'm like an old lady. I'm not an old lady. Oh my gosh, so many things are happening. Back to this. The kitchen. I love this kitchen. At first, I was like, this is a little crowded with that island, but I like it. And I even like that little, like, kind of hook counter thing, because this was originally going to look differently. It was going to not have that hook, first of all. I was going to have like a little, where the chair and the trash can are, I was going to have a little nook, and that was going to be kind of the coffee island type thing. And then I ended up doing this instead, and I really like it. I feel like this is a very functional kitchen, but it's also kind of that kitchen that everyone walks into while the one person is cooking. You all just stand around the counter and talk, and you're like, haha, let's cook and have a good time. It's that kitchen. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but just a cozy kitchen. I wanted this house to have kind of like an air of sophistication about it while still being cozy and comfortable and cute. So even though the dining room could have a slightly bigger table, I chose to put the smaller table just so, I don't know, this isn't the house where you go and you're like, got to put on my tux to impress these people. It's just a house where I feel like it's a house where, like, the family goes. Like, if this could be the house that either someone lives all the time at the beach at, or this could be the house that's like the family beach house that like all different groups of family members go to, but no matter what, like, part of the family you are. It's your home, even though a bunch of other people use it, So I just wanted it to be cozy and nice. And I had so much fun using curtains in this build. Usually curtains are my downfall. I don't like a lot of the curtains, or I like the curtains, but they don't have color palettes that fit my builds or my vision for the builds or whatever. There's a lot going on. But this one, and maybe it's just because I focused on the cats and dogs stuff, I don't know, but I loved the curtains. The curtains and I were getting along really well in this build. And another thing that usually I stray away from, but I kind of wanted to embrace it in this, was putting a bathroom with every bedroom. I know that's normally not a thing in most houses, but first of all, the layout I was adapting for this house. Because if you guys didn't know, sometimes for builds, I will find actual building plans for real houses and then adapt them. And so this was kind of one of those deals. But if there's a laundry room in a build, obviously I'm not going to put a laundry room in there, because even though laundry stuff is coming, we don't have it yet. So I will either delete the laundry room entirely and then redesign the layout around it, or in this case, I replace the laundry room with a bathroom, which is this bedroom that we're in right now. The bathroom area is actually supposed to be a laundry room, which I'm not quite sure I get, because even in the floor plans of the house that I was looking at, it was hard to tell. Like, I don't know how it worked. Like, there was the laundry room, but I'm not sure where the door was, or I don't know. I feel like it would have been an awkward laundry space. So whoever designed those floor plans, call up that architect and figure that out, because who would want a laundry room shaped like this? And I don't think the door was in the bedroom. I think it was on the outside, so the wall that the shower's on. So you literally just walk into this corridor of a laundry room. I don't know how that works. But anyway, it's not a laundry room here. It's a beautiful bathroom. And that's all that matters. Right? Right. Another thing, usually when I have multiple bedrooms in a house, I know I'm just talking about all the things that I did differently, but if you want me to talk about the weather, I could talk about the weather. I don't know. I noticed that I kind of analyze my builds, and I don't mind it, obviously, because I'm doing it. But if you don't want me to analyze my builds, like if you'd rather me, I don't know, talk about the weather, I don't know, or I don't know. I can talk about something different. Just let me know. But anyway, I'm going to keep analyzing this build, because until someone tells me my analysis of builds is too much, I'm going to keep doing it. But anyway, usually when there's multiple bedrooms, I will put the smaller bedroom. They'll kind of have the same layout in different color schemes. And then I'll have the master bedroom, which is a little more extravagant. But this one, I was like, no. Because I also usually don't make kids' bedrooms. And I feel like I usually don't make kids' bedrooms because I always build with kind of the idea in mind, unless I'm building a house for a specific sim, that other people are going to download this, and I don't even know if their sims have kids, so they could turn one of the rooms into their ideal kids' room if they want to. That's kind of my logic. But this time I didn't want to do that. I want to do something different. So I built kind of what I guess would be either an older sim's bedroom or a kid's bedroom, with the one on the left side of the house. And then on the right side, I put the 2 twin beds and kind of made that the kids' room. There's not a lot going on. There's just a giant stuffed cat and a bookshelf and like some little cute wall decals. But you can put toys and stuff in there. Like that depends on the kids that you have in there. I don't know. Maybe your kids like the doll houses, or maybe they like throwing monster toys at each other. I don't know. Those are your kids, not mine. But I don't know. Like all the bedrooms are different, and I'm proud of that. And they all have kind of the same cozy contemporary beach house vibe, but they all also embrace different color schemes and slightly different styles. And I like that a lot. I don't know. Might just be me. This master bedroom is really simple. And at first I was like, this is too simple. I need to put more stuff in it. But I also feel like it's really realistic, because at least when you have your life together, aka not me, your house is kind of like designed. It's not your hand-me-down furniture. You've had time to go and like design your house the way you want it and all that kind of stuff. Your bedroom isn't full of a bunch of random stuff. So that's kind of why I was like, no, this is a really good master bedroom, and I embrace it, because you can put your random stuff in there. If your sim's a painter, you can put an easel by the window. I don't care. But like as a house that you're walking into that someone else has designed, aka I've designed it, it's completely put together, and then you can add your own personality to it, which I've talked about in other builds, that I like to leave houses and rooms in such a way that people can adapt them for their Sims. But anyway, that's just how it is. And so after I built the house, I had this huge backyard, and I already knew I wanted this house to have a pool, even though it's a beach house, and I kind of have that thing, like, why would you have a pool when you have the beach? I know I'm a beach person. I know some people are like, ugh, who knows what's in that water? There's a lot of water. There's a lot of stuff in that water. Things live in that water. I know some of you feel that way, but that's okay. I'm not one of those people. I'm a beach person. Some people think, I'm not going to get into it. I'm a beach person, but I felt like this would be the house that would have the pool, because there's like the kids' bedroom, and I feel like it's, like I said, like that family type house, and so people get together here. And so I wanted to give them a patio area, and then also a nice pool and some awesome landscaping, because what is a nice big house without some awesome landscaping? So also, they're speaking landscaping. Oh my gosh, freaking out. I don't know what's happening. I decided I wanted to do some, like, a decent amount of landscaping, but I didn't want it to be a lot of flowers. So you'll notice that I don't use a lot of flowers. I use those low-lying flowers under those hosa plants, I think they're called. And then in the front, I use the big hydrangea bushes, but those are more, they have flowers on them, but it's not like I put like little flower bushes, because those hydrangeas get out of control. I don't know if you've ever seen them in real life, but they get nuts. But anyway, so I used a lot of the kind of reedy plants, like those sawgrass bushes with the little fluffs, and I use the hosa plants. They're not reedy, but they have big leaves, and then the kind of pond looking plants that are in the Sims. But yeah, the video's coming to an end, and I'm running out of time to talk to you. So you can find this build on the gallery. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'd love to know what you think. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.